My name is Sarah Hunt. I am the Education and Engagement Leader for the Corporate Health and Wellness Association. I'm also the Assistant Editor for Corporate Wellness Magazine. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining today's brief webcast on where we'll cover the different benefits that you'll receive in becoming a certified corporate wellness specialist. We'll go through what the program actually consists of and how you can use it to maximize your exposure, your branding, both professionally and personally in the corporate wellness space. I want to start by going over just the wellness industry as a whole and some key statistics that are really showing the huge growth from employers and vendors entering the market. The corporate wellness industry is now over $40 billion industry with thousands of vendors offering wellness programs. We've seen an average of $693 per employee on incentives in 2015, and that's up from $594 in 2014 and $430 5 years ago. The average medical cost savings per dollar invested in wellness programs is now $3.27, and absenteeism costs associated with every dollar invested is $2.73. And we're actually seeing even higher yields and savings with employers like Citibank, Bank of America, and Johnson & Johnson, who are seeing cost savings of $4.50 for the total dollar invested in each employee. So some more stats in regards to employers. About 50% of employers with at least 50 workers offer a wellness program. 90% of employers with more than 50,000 employees offer wellness programs. And with 75% of healthcare dollars going towards preventable conditions, employers are turning to corporate wellness programs to batter healthcare costs and to improve the productivity of their employees. Here's some different stats on the impact of wellness on employers and how employees view wellness. 62% of employees feel workplace wellness activities are successful. 51% of employees felt it encouraged them to work harder. 59% of employees feel that they have more energy and are more productive in the workforce. And 43% of employees say wellness programs lead them to miss fewer days. So with all of these, growing trends and, the perception of employers, implementation of wellness in the workplace, and the perception of employees of wellness programs, how do you stand out in the crowd? How do you diversify yourself from, competitors? How do you benchmark against other employers? And this is really the basis of our certification and of today's webcast. We'll show you how you can advance your career and climb the corporate ladder. And I love this quote, the best way to predict your future is to create it. So it's really taking a hold of the tools and the resources that are available that we kind of bring together with this certification to assist you in that process. So what is the Certified Corporate Wellness Specialist designation? I want to note that this certification, it is a true designation. It's not a certificate course where you sit through it for 2 hours and, whether or not you retain the information, you get the certificate. This is an actual designation that was developed by the Corporate Health and Wellness Association. You can take it online or live in person. It consists of reading our industry book, Engaging Wellness, watching the presentations either online, as I mentioned, or in person, and it consists of 13 different presentations and educational modules. And then it requires you to pass an online exam of a 75 or greater. So it really is testing your knowledge, ensuring that you retain the information. And in addition, it is something that is a living, breathing certification. We continue to update the modules and you are required to get continuing education in order to maintain it. So it's not something that you just get and then, you know, you're good to go for, you know, the next 10 years, as we see, you know, with several other designations. Just as the industry is growing and moving forward and progressing, so is this designation. So just a little bit about the Corporate Health and Wellness Association. We're the first nonprofit wellness association. We're made up of employers for employers. Our whole goal is surrounding sharing best practices and successful employer case studies. We have over 100 large employer members representing millions of lives. And again, our mission is really to educate employers on the ways to engage employees in healthy behaviors. So going back to why we created the designation, our board members in looking at other designations out there and, you know, what the educational needs were within the industry, they were really tired of you know, subpar wellness programs that didn't work. They were investing a lot of money into these very comprehensive, extravagant programs, and they weren't seeing the results that they were looking for. Engagement was low. There was lack of communication. So they were really looking for a way to not only share best practices and trends, but really being able to evaluate different providers, having a way to see, you know, who are really the leaders within the space. So some of the core competencies of the Certified Corporate Wellness Specialist designation is obtaining management support, creating and maintaining wellness committees, the program design, budget, incentives, health risk assessments, biometrics, the environment, looking at various populations, different industries, whether you're in manufacturing or retail. Look at the legal issues, which I know is, you know, everybody's aware of now with the EEOC. We bring in, you know, the National Employee Benefits attorneys to advise you on, you know, the legal issues and how to stay in compliance. Return on investment, the big focus, and kind of the direction and how that's evolved. And it's all about the content and our instructors. The course itself is developed through our partnership with leading industry professionals, whether it's different government organizations, the legal experts, leading employers that are really paving the way, nationally recognized providers and consultants that, you know, are able to assist with the engagement throughout the process. And here's just a little bit of some of the course content. And this is for the online, and many of these topics are also updated at our annual conference. Again, it's a living, breathing designation, so we're always adding in new content that really, you know, hits on the trends at that current time. The more you'll see a lot of case studies in here. We've got case studies with LinkedIn, LL Bean, IBM, and engaging wellness. So this is your kind of A to Z on corporate wellness. This is a book that we put together. We worked with leading professionals in developing over 584 pages. Our second edition was published in November of 2013. You can purchase the book online. You can have it in print or the ebook, and this is a requirement of the course. The exam, as I mentioned, it is going to pull from both those modules that are either taken online or in person. It's going to pull questions from the book. Excuse me. And then you just need to have 75 or higher. Here are some of the chapters that are covered in Engaging Wellness. Again, it's your A to Z. We do have several case studies within it as well, where we did extensive interviews with leading employers like Johnson & Johnson. Some of the topics are incentives, dealing with the C-suite, social media, gaming, fully insured versus self-funded employers. And again, it's a living, breathing certification. So once you actually earn your designation, you are required to stay up to date and receive 5 hours of continuing education each year in order to maintain your designation. Many of these topics, they are from intermediate to advanced. You're required to get 3 intermediate level and 2 advanced level. These topics change year after year. Again, you can take your CEs either online or in person. Our course, too, that I do want to mention is approved for SPHR credit as well. And here's just some testimonials from, the hundreds and hundreds of participants that have gone through the program. We provide assistance throughout the whole entire process. We have a great support staff here. If something happens and you need an extension, we're willing to work with you. The main thing with the certification is it really helps you in keeping up to date on the trends, innovations, and best practices within the corporate wellness space, whether you're an employer, a consultant advising employers, or a provider. We've seen our participants, be those that are just entering the corporate wellness space, whether they're a personal trainer or nutritionist. We've also seen, multinational employers that have offices throughout the world that have had their program in place for over a decade that have seen tremendous value in the designation. And again, going back to the fact that it's got those employer case studies, it's got the current success stories of different programs that employers have put in place and the success that they've had with it. Here's just another testimonial, a more recent one we just got a couple of weeks ago that I wanted to share because it touched upon, the regulatory and legal issues. Elaine said the course highlights not only wellness but also designing programs, regulatory and legal issues. And she is an occupational health nurse, and she said the certification provides certificates with the ability to enhance overall health and safety practices and increase morale. And I like, her focus on increased morale. It's something where this designation is really something to be proud of. It's something that you can go and then tell your workforce, how you've gone through the training. You can take the tools that you've learned from other employers and implement them into your program. Or if you're advising clients, it'll give you some of those creative outside-the-box ideas on how to engage your various populations. And again, investing in yourself and in getting that education to help keep you up to date. Recently, Healthiest Employers, a leading national research and awards program for employers, found that the Certified Corporate Wellness Certification is considered by senior HR and benefits executives as the most valuable certification in the corporate wellness space. And this was done by a recent survey that they did. So again, it's something that whether you're a consultant, it is recognized by the HR executives. If you're an employer, it's something that your peers, your HR and wellness peers are going to recognize. And employers are seeking CCWS students. Again, and why? It is the most up-to-date program in the industry. It's living, breathing. We're constantly updating the various modules to bring you those real trends. And many times, before they may come across the headlines. Having this seal identifies potential employees as having the knowledge to perform at a higher level. It shows potential employers that the student has made an investment in themselves. So how are we helping you? Once, you go through the process, you get your designation, it's not something that we just let you kind of go and figure it out on your own at that point. We really then give you the tools to market yourself, to promote yourself. It's something to really be proud of. So one of the things that we do is we have a search function on the Corporate Health and Wellness Association website, where once you've received your designation, we actually list your name and your state. And other organizations are able to search for you and send you messages through the search function. So again, giving you an opportunity to be seen by, the hundreds and thousands within the space. You actually receive a true certificate, and it is very nice looking. This was mine, and it's something that you get complimentary is completing the certification course. We give you a seal, the CCWS seal. We recommend that you add it to your resumes, to your business cards. We have a lot of our participants that complete the course that actually, they add the designation to their LinkedIn profiles. And we help with the whole promotion once you get your certification. We do a huge branding campaign once you become certified. We promote all of our students to our entire database. We also promote them through our various social media outlets. So I want to touch a little bit upon social media. Many of you know, who are close with our organization, how we are the leaders in terms of social media. We did a survey in 2014 that we sent out to the industry. Over 800 agents, brokers, consultants, and HR managers were pooled. And to give you an idea, so 83.6% of agents and brokers receive their industry updates and news from social media, LinkedIn being one of the top sources. 65.5% of agents and brokers feel they receive the most timely and up-to-date information and news from social media. 51% have chosen an insurance or employee benefit service or product or a new vendor from social media, and 93% of HR and benefits managers receive their industry news from social media, twice as much as magazines. We now have a reach of over 500,000 via LinkedIn, and I'm going to go through some of our different LinkedIn, reach. And recommend, if you haven't joined one of our groups, to definitely go ahead and join, because social media, specifically LinkedIn, is one of the best ways to receive, your information. It's the most current. So our reach, we have over 1 million HR executives, insurance, and healthcare professionals in our reach, whether it be our subscribers to our newsletters, our magazine. We have over 600,000 just in social media. And that's continuing to grow. We're averaging over 100 per week, and we estimate to be at 1 million in social media by the end of the year. So when you search corporate wellness on LinkedIn, we show up as #1. Again, as a reminder, one of the things that we do once you do get certified is we promote you as an industry leader and as a participant in the Certified Corporate Wellness Specialist Program to our various social media reach, including LinkedIn and including this corporate wellness group, of which we've got close to 38,000 members. So that's one of the main groups that I would definitely join if you haven't already. If you search human resources, our group, HR Professionals Association, is the #1 largest HR professionals association or professionals groups on LinkedIn. We have over 227,000 members within that group. Another great one to join. Benefits and health. We have our benefits, health, and welfare program or LinkedIn group, which has close to 32,000. And we're the leaders also in educating employers and agents and brokers in regards to the ACA. Some of the added benefits that you receive include membership in the Corporate Health and Wellness Association. So long as you keep your certification current and you stay up to date with your CEs, you'll receive all the benefits that a regular member would receive. You'll gain access to our corporate wellness resources, which include webinars, podcasts, employer case studies, white papers, research, and surveys. We have our online subscription to Corporate Wellness Magazine, so you can just visit corporatewellnessmagazine.com. We come out with an electronic version And then we also, just this year, launched a print edition of Corporate Wellness Magazine. If you haven't checked it out yet, please visit corporatewellnessmagazine.com. If you'd like a printed copy of the publication, at the end of the presentation, you'll find an email address. Just shoot us an email, and we'll send you out a printed copy. We were really, really pleased with this. We've gotten rave reviews on it. We featured an interview with the advisor to Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign, Sam Cass. We also did a cover story on wellness ROI with the CEO of Aetna, and really discussing the trends in ROI and how employers are moving away from that whole, determining ROI, but really looking at the impact that it has in creating that culture of health and how it's really investing in your employees and having that as an added benefit to your benefits program. We had case studies with leading employers like Walgreens, Chipotle, IBM, and more, and focuses on some of the trends. Employers moving to, just the basics and fitness and nutrition, well-being. Our next edition will be entirely on wearables and some of the other trends in technology that we're seeing entering the space. We actually mailed the printed copy, and we will do so moving forward. Over 1,000 copies were mailed to CEOs from top 100 companies throughout the U.S. You'll receive discounts once you get certified off of our annual Corporate Wellness Conference. We ask that you save the date. This is where you would receive the live training. You can receive the live training either at our annual conference, or we do have group certification programs. We partner with various groups year-round. Typically, if you have groups from 25 or more, we can work with you in terms of pricing, and we work out all the logistics. If you have a group training, we have a lot of providers that do group trainings, a lot of other associations that do the group trainings. So at this year's conference, the Corporate Wellness Conference is part of the Employer Healthcare and Benefits Congress, and we'll be bringing in 200 plus speakers, many of which are from national employer groups. We'll have over 20 sessions dedicated specifically to corporate wellness. If you get your certification prior to the event, we'll waive the $100 recertification fee, and you can get your continuing education while at the event. We also have new certifications in corporate fitness and corporate nutrition. Many of those modules as well, they do count towards continuing education for your CCWS. So if you're a fitness professional or a dietitian in the space, keep in mind that we have specific tracks dedicated to fitness and nutrition in the workplace. You'll also have access to our roundtables and summits, and these are really collaborative type forums. Here's just a glimpse of some of the different types of employers that we've brought in. You'll see it, huge spectrum of industries and sizes. A little bit more about our collaborative roundtables and forums. This is something that we really take pride in and specialize. There are opportunities where you can really meet face-to-face with your wellness and HR colleagues. It's where, we have designated roundtables that focus on key specific topics within the corporate wellness space. This year we'll have a workshop on meditation and mindfulness. We've had LinkedIn speak several years. They do some amazing things in terms of this topic. Fitness technology. Last year we had our fitness wearables think tank, which was a huge success. Employers were able to compete against each other and demo out various devices. On-site clinics, we have our healthy foods roundtable. So just a lot of different, key trends that are in the space, and where you can really discuss the challenges. Employers can share solutions along the way. And a little bit more about our corporate fitness and nutrition conference. Last year, some of the case studies shared were from Chipotle, LinkedIn, Verizon, Google, and many more. We'll be holding a corporate wellness incubator Shark Tank We'll be sending out some communication in regards to that and how to participate. And some of the speakers from our fitness and nutrition track last year. One of the things we're really excited to announce, I think some PR went out about it the other day, is our partnership with the Healthiest Employers Awards. This year's Top 100 Healthiest Employers Award ceremony will be taking place within our event. So over 400 employers nationally will be invited for their chance to see if they made the cut to the top 100. Anybody is welcome to that award ceremony. So, keep in tune for more communication on that and how you can participate. And as a thank you for each and every one of you taking the time to learn more about the program, we do want to extend to you a special offer. It's good through up until Friday, April 10th. We will be giving you 10% off of the certification, which is typically $9.95. So you get 10% off of that, and you'll also receive a free conference pass as well to our September 27th event in Orlando. You can opt to either take the certification online or live in person. And then there's 2 links for you to register below. I do want to take a moment to answer any questions that you guys might have. So if you want to go ahead, you can start typing in your questions. It does look like we have some already. Let's see. In regards to a recording of this, we will be providing a recording within 72 hours from this webcast. So you will be able to go through and review it. One of the questions we received is how long you have to actually take the course. You have 65 days from the moment that you start the modules to begin the course. So you could register today, read the book Engaging Wellness, but the 65 days doesn't start until you actually start the first module for the course. And then, you've got 55 days to complete the modules and to take the 100-question exam. Again, with the exam, it takes about, it's open book, so you could probably complete it within 2 hours. And we give you 2 chances or 2 attempts at reaching the 75 or above in passing the exam. A question in regards to links for the certification. We'll be sending you instructions along with the replay of today's presentation, instructions on how to register, whether you're participating in the online certification or live and in person. A question as it relates to the exam and the modules. The modules, there's 13 different modules. All of them estimate anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes. So, it could take anywhere from, 12 to 14 hours. The online certification does allow you to stop in the middle of the modules, and the learning management platform will remember where you left off. So you can kind of go at your own pace for the online program. So again, it takes about anywhere between 12 and 14 hours. The exam portion, depending on stopping and starting, again, you can kind of go at your own pace. We find it takes about 2 hours to take the exam portion. In regards to the book, we had a question from Maria. Do you just need the book and do the modules and then the test? We've had our students, do it successfully in multiple ways. It is open book. We've had some that read the book along with taking the modules, where others have read the book first and then taken the modules. My own preference, I read the book first and then took the modules, and then when you get to the exam piece of it, we do have a workbook that has a printout of all of the slides so you can take notes on your slides as you're going through the modules, and then when you're taking the exam, you can reference both your book and then your printout of the modules with your notes. So I think we've gone over by about a minute. So I just want to thank each and every one of you, for dedicating your time today and learning more about the designation program, the Certified Corporate Wellness Specialist. We will be providing you, as I mentioned, within 72 hours of today's webcast, a replay as well as instructions with links and the codes for you to go ahead and register. And if you have any other questions, please feel free, to email us directly. We can be reached at info@wellnessassociation.com, or you can give us a call at 561-204-3676. Thank you all again, and everybody have a great weekend. Bye-bye.